up, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video we're going to look at the SOTA Street Fighter Round 4 Akuma, and also the preview versions of him as well. He's also known as Goki, so if you know him by that name, you can just replace Akuma with Goki or Akuma, but I call him Akuma. These are all the regular versions right here, and you can't see what I'm pointing at. So starting here and then going back into triangles, all the regular versions. This one right here is preview, and this one back here is preview. I just happen to stack them that way, so you can just ignore the order. But they're all basically the exact same height because they're all the same mold other than the head, and some of them have different feet. And of course the clothes are different, but they all stand roughly 7.5 inches tall to the top of the hair, about 7.25 to the top of the or just 7 to the top of the head, and then 7.25 to the top of that little top bit of hair. This is the player 1 version here. This is a red one with red hair, black gi with white hair and reddish skin. That's a purple gi with white hair, whitish beige gi with red hair, and blackish or black gi with red hair. And this one over here is a blue gi with white hair. Now this one, the black with red hair and then the white with red hair, those don't have the sandals. Some of them have all of them have sandals except for those two. You can see here, sandals, no sandals, and then back between his legs you can see no sandals. That's because in, I don't know which game, one of the games, a game that I never played, he didn't have sandals, so those two have no sandals based on that. And like I said, this one here is the preview Shin Akuma, and this one back here is the preview regular Akuma. Those two have the exact same mold and accessories. All the rest of them have the exact same mold and accessories minus the sandals. So we're going to set these all aside. You don't really need to worry about which ones are Shin Akuma or regular Akuma. As long as you know the colors, those are the ones. These are all the ones that exist. So you don't need to worry about naming them. If you see one with a purple gi and white hair, that's that one. If you see one with a red gi and red hair, that's that one. You don't have to worry about all the specifics. Save you some trouble there. Okay, so these are the two molds that we're going to be looking at, really. I'm not going to separate the ones with the sandals because it's really an insignificant detail in my opinion. This is the standard release, round 4. This is the preview. We'll talk about him in a minute. So, the round 4 Akuma, pretty good figure. It's similar to the Ryu and Ken figures, but he's definitely a lot bulkier. And if you'll notice, this is the exact same body they used for the preview Ryu and Ken. It's also the same body they used for the preview Akuma. So he is a little bit bulkier, a little bit different proportions. Overall, it's the exact same set of articulation, but his legs tend to get a little bit loose at the T-joint, so that's really the only issue I have with this guy. Let's talk about accessories. He's got one grimacy face right there where you can see his teeth, and one face where he's just kind of making a frowny face. Both are pretty nice sculpts. I like this design for Akuma, and the hair is nicely detailed sculpt-wise and paint-wise, so I do like the head sculpts. All of the round 4 Akumas have the same prayer beads, the exact same sculpt and paint job, which is actually on rope and individual beads, so that's a nice touch. And then the previews both have different colors, and I'll show you those when I get there. As far as hands go, he has 2 fist sculpts and 2 open palm sculpts. Again, the fingernails are painted and really nice sculpt work, and he has this fire accessory for his uppercut or for whatever you want to use it for, and that snaps onto his fist. I'll just show you on this guy because they have the same hands, but that just snaps on. It doesn't snap on very well. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but as you can see, it's a pretty nicely sculpted flame accessory, and it goes over the knuckles nicely. So if you can get it to snap on, then you'll be able to use it pretty well. Otherwise, use some sticky tack and just stick it on the top of his palm. So that'll work for you, and it's nice and translucent, so it's pretty cool. Okay, let's talk about Akuma himself. He doesn't have a whole lot of shading, if any, on the skin. Some of them do. Like I said, this one has more of a red color to him. You can see the difference there. But there's really not a whole lot of shading either way. It's just a different color in the skin. This one's got more of a gray tone to it, but there's still not a whole lot of shading. So if you get one with no shading, it's probably normal. for the standard releases. We'll get to the previews in a second again. The gi, same gi as Ryu and Ken for the previews, so it's got the tattered top and then the tattered bottom. He's got the rope belt, which is new for him, so that's a nice touch. It looks really good, actually, I think. It's got nice paintwork and sculpt work. Overall, he's a good-looking figure. I am a big fan of Akuma, so I might be a little picky on this guy when I'm saying he's not the best figure that they've made, but he is definitely good enough for Akuma. The sculpt is good. He's got the bigger muscles, the bigger overall body, so that's fine. And like I said, the articulation's good. The head's on a ball joint, but there's not a whole lot of range of motion. It's just a little bit side to side and full swivel, of course. Up and down is pretty limited as well. Shoulders are on a ball joint. Pretty good range of motion. The gi is a soft plastic, but it is also somewhat cumbersome when it comes to the articulation, so you're going to be somewhat limited there. Single jointed elbow, bicep swivel, of course, wrist rotation, and a wrist pivot. He's got nab crunch in there, which works okay. You're not going to get a whole lot out of it. Even though the gi lets it move, it doesn't let it move that much. You're maybe going to get one or two different clicks out of it. Not a great range of motion, just a little bit. So that's kind of not the best. Waist twist, T-jointed ball disc hips, like I said, but they're usually pretty loose on Akuma, so take note of that. Pretty good range of motion, though, otherwise. Not a full 90, closer to 45, but it's probably good enough. Double jointed knees, ankle swivel, ankle pivot, foot swivel, and toe pivot. The sandals are sculpted pretty well. They could be painted better. Same thing with the toenails. I think round 4 kind of marks a decline in the overall quality of the figures just a little bit, and maybe it's just me, but it seems that they're not quite as nicely done as some of the other figures. And some of them are, though, so I'll point that out when I get to them. But for Akuma, it just seems like a little bit of the quality control went out the window. Either way, he's still a pretty solid figure, and I do recommend him, especially if you're a Akuma fan, because it's a good figure, and he's got the kanji on his back for the 10 symbol or logo or emblem or whatever you want to call that. It's painted pretty well, nice and crisp lines. Just maybe could have used another coat of paint, but it's not necessary because it does look good. So that's good. Oh, I should mention, some have it, some don't. I'll run through them real quick so you can see. Actually, they might all have it. I don't remember anymore. It's been a while. Looks like they might. I'll be surprised if they do. This one has the different emblem. I'm not familiar with why. I don't remember anymore. But this is the black one with the white hair with the red skin and a different emblem altogether that I don't know anything about. So I apologize. If you know more about it than I do, which would be easy because I don't know anything, let me know. This is the Shin Akuma. This is definitely a Shin Akuma. I don't know which of the other ones are or not anymore, but this one has this emblem, and this one does too, and the rest all have the 10. So I don't know. If anybody can expound upon that for me, please do, because I would love to know. Alright, let's move on to the previews. They both have the exact same mold. They both have different kanji. Again, this one looks like a 10 mixed with God. I think that's God. And Power, Evil, I don't remember anymore. It's been forever again. This one has the 10, like I said, so that's standard. And then this one is Shin Akuma, and I don't know what that is. So if anybody knows that, please let me know. Maybe that's not 10. That's not 10. I don't remember anymore. Okay. So basically the exact same figure, different color beads, different color skin, different color hair, same exact sculpt. They have the torn shirt that's folded down rather than up and around, which I don't think ever happened in the game, if I remember correctly. So it's probably not the most game accurate figure, but it still looks really cool. I like it a lot more for the Shin Akuma than regular, but it's still pretty good. If you'll notice, the regular one has kind of an overspray of a darker color, and they didn't get the shoulders. It's like they were up like that when they painted it, so it kind of doesn't look the best. It's got these little farmer tan lines on the shoulders, so that's not very good in my opinion. But otherwise, the paint job's pretty cool overall, otherwise, and I do like it. Same exact articulation as the other figure, the standard release, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But that's the new sculpt, new head and no shirt, different color beads. This guy's beads are almost the exact same as the regular release. They might be, and they're a little bit different. But he looks just way cooler with the darker skin and the white hair and the white eyes and the purple gi. And they just did a better job with him. He doesn't have that weird overspray. And this is easily the best Shin Akuma there is, but of course it's very hard to come by, so you might have some trouble finding him. So this guy, like I said, it's the exact same mold as the standard release, other than the gi in the head, but he does have different accessories. The 2 fists are the same. The 2 hands are almost the same. The open hands, he's got these open hands again, same as Ryu and Ken. And if you look, they're almost the exact same. It might be from that angle, but when you flip him around, he's got the hole in the palm so that you can use his fireball. This one is pink, and they're both pink. So the blue one, the standard Akuma, and the Shin Akuma both have a pink fireball, nice and translucent, and that pegs into the hand there. It's pretty tricky, but it will go in. So that's pretty cool. So that's the over and under for Akuma. We have the preview Shin Akuma there and the regular traditional round 4 Akuma there. Both good figures. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the rest of the SOTA Street Fighter figure reviews, and in the meantime, keep collecting.